There's been so many shows that I keep putting, new shows in my top 20 of all time or whatever I like to say. But there's been some massive moments for me. Playing Coachella was one of them. To share the same stage as Radiohead was a big deal. To see the AWOLNATION gear alongside with Radiohead's gear and all that was an amazing experience. And I was kind of scared. I didn't know if anyone was going to pay attention, if we were going to be accepted amongst that crowd, and we totally were, and it was a great experience. Before that, we did something, a festival called ACL in Austin, Texas, which is sort of one of the first cities to really give any of our songs a chance at radio. So that was the first massive crowd. I mean, it's one thing to play in front of 400 kids sold out and excited. That's just, there's nothing better than that, right? And then all of a sudden, 1,000 with that same energy, and then there's a big difference between 1,000 and 3,000, and then 10, and then 20, and then 40. And ACL was something like between 30 and 40, and same with Coachella. So that's just, can't even imagine. It's hard to not blow out your voice because you see a sea of people, and you're trying to reach those people's ears as well. So I have a tendency to oversing and scream too much, and then have a hard time for the next 3 shows. So I've learned that now, and we actually recently did another great one, which was Voodoo Fest in New Orleans. Same kind of massive sea of people, and I think on that one I was able to kind of stay calm and not overdo it. If I was going to give one gift to a bunch of friends, it would be this Rodriguez record called Cold Fact. That this is like the 20th interview I've spoken about this, so I hope that he has realized that I'm really promoting his record really well. Anyways, there's a great documentary that came out called Searching for Sugar Man that is probably going to win all these awards this year. And but before that, I was lucky enough to discover his record Cold Fact, which came out in 1971, and to me it has my favorite lyrics of any one record in the history of time. And that's a lot for me to say that, because I care a lot about that, as I'm sure we all do, right? But I've been obsessed with this record ever since I discovered it. It's so special to discover an old record now, and I couldn't believe it. I overlooked it when I discovered it because it was such a beautiful thing to me. So it's amazing to have what's a new record to me that came out in 1970 or 71. I forget which year that was. But I would give everyone I know that record, because lyrically it just touched me, and I think that anyone else would feel the same way. It'll always have a sense of melody, because that's just for better or for worse who I am, I guess. And so and it'll sound like me, and so you're gonna get the same vocal there. Hopefully I do stuff better, or push myself in some other strange direction. But I definitely think I want to push the boundaries of structure a little bit. I tapped on that a little bit with one of our songs called Nights of Shame, which is 12.5 minutes long. I never thought I'd do something like that, and I think that if I could get a couple songs to have commercial success anywhere near what we've had on this first record, without it being the typical verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, double bonus chorus, or whatever, I think that would be really cool. So I have the luxury of time right now, and I'm being very, I'm not going to force it or rush anything. I had a lot of time to write this first record, and I'm going to make sure that when I do release Megalithic 2, which we'll call it for now, I'm sure it won't be called that, that it hopefully is better than this record, and is pushing the boundaries a little bit from what I did in the past. And so, most of the time I'm thinking about what that record's going to sound like and the direction it's going to go, and the different artwork I'm going to have to put together for basically the whole look of the next record and the whole next thing. So touring is a good place to do that, because you get to test out songs on your fans and strangers at some points, and also there's a lot of time there's not that much to do on certain days off, or you wake up in your bus, and of course there's the venue and then not much else around. So those are the good times to write or work on stuff that you're already working on. So yeah, record number 2, and continuing to grow this whole family.